Hello and welcome to Synergy Path Tarot 777. I wanted to come to the collective today and get a message from Spirit on what the next big chapter in your life is gonna look like. So what the next big chapter in the collective's life gonna look like? What can you expect? This is a collective reading, so these messages are gonna resonate with who it's meant to resonate with. There might be quite a few different messages coming out as far as what to expect next, or what the next big chapter in your life will be, because there's gonna be different people watching this video. So take what resonates with you and just leave the rest for someone else. So I'm going to be pulling tarot cards and also oracle cards as well. So Spirit, what could the collective expect their next big chapter to look like in their lives? What is the next big chapter in the collective life, Spirit? Please and thank you. Okay, we already have one coming out, and I am going to take all the cards upright. So we have Rejoice and Celebration, number 3 card. What is the next big chapter in the collective's life? Let's flip this one over. Material Harvest, number 9. So far, great energy. Positive energy. What could the collective expect their next big chapter to look like, Spirit? Okay. We have positive movement forward, 8 of Pentacles. This is equivalent to the 8 of Pentacles. All right. We also have Rejoice and Celebration, which is equivalent to the 3 of Cups in traditional tarot. And 9 of Pentacles. Material Harvest is equivalent to the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Let's get 3 more. So we have a lot of earth energy. Three more cards, Spirit, on what the collective. Okay, that's a lot more than 3. So I'm going to take this top card and put the rest back. So we have Memories of Love, number 6 card. This is equivalent to the 6 of Cups. Let's get 2 more. Okay. We have Victory and Success, another number 6 card. So we have 2 number 6 cards on the table here. Coming out back to back. One more card, Spirit. What could our collective expect their next big chapter in their life to be? What does that look like for them? All right, then we have Sacrifice, number 12 card, which is equivalent to the Hangman in traditional tarot. All right, wow. Okay, so let's start there first. So like I said, this is looking like a lot of positive energy that's coming into you. You guys' life, your next big chapter. So Rejoice and Celebration. This could talk about getting together, friends, family, co-workers. They're going to be celebrating, going out, celebrating more, connecting more with others. It could look like parties, weddings, events that you're going to. But you're going to be having, you're going to be around other people. And you're going to be having a good time around people. We also have material harvest, and this is equivalent to the Nine of Pentacles. So this shows stable energy, stable grounded energy, where you're feeling fruitful. You feel like you're stable. You feel like you have enough, you know, material wise. Maybe you feel comfortable financially. Maybe you feel that, you know, your home is a place where, you know, like you're feeling comfortable at your home. You're really not needed for much. And as you can see in this man has, you know, something to drink. He has money. He has something to eat. So this is really giving the energy of not needing anything when it comes to like material wise. We have also positive movement forward, which is the number 8 card, equivalent to the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles shows someone who's been putting in the work. So maybe you've done work, or whatever you're working on is bringing you this material harvest. So you're really starting to see your work paying off. You're moving in a direction where you're actually starting to see the fruits of your labor. We have memories of love as well. So this talks about past memories, childhood, having nostalgia. So maybe you're creating, like, and it came underneath Rejoice and Celebration. So maybe you're creating a lot of memories. This next big chapter in your life, you're going to be creating a lot of good memories. And we also have victory and success, which is equivalent to the 6 of Wands. And this shows someone who is being recognized for what they've done. So, you know, whatever work that you guys have been putting out there, what you've been trying to manifest, and what is now coming into fruition, where you're going to start feeling this stability. Others are definitely going to recognize you for it. They're really going to recognize it and cheer you on. Good for you guys. Wow. We also have sacrifice. So the sacrifice is equivalent to the Hangman card. And this is someone who's just like hanging around. Someone who's, you know, like if you're looking at the traditional Hangman card, you see someone who is upside down. But in that card, they look very content and they look very comfortable. So maybe you guys had to make a lot of sacrifices to get to this energy that's coming in your next big chapter, because we have the word sacrifice right here. So maybe you guys did have to sacrifice a lot, maybe a lot of time, a lot of energy, maybe a lot of saving up, working harder to get where you guys next big chapter is. But this is the, you know, the Hangman, what I was saying, is someone who's suspended by a tree, but they're content with where they're at. They're able to see from a different perspective, but they're very content with where they're at, and they know, like, hey, everything is fine. Even though, you know, it doesn't look comfortable, they are very much not worried. So you guys are going to be in the energy of not worrying about, you know, much of anything. Wow, this is very positive. So very exciting. Very exciting. It's something to look forward to. So I'm going to grab, let's see, another deck. Grab another deck here and see what else comes out. I am going to list all the decks that I'm using in this reading in the description box. This is pretty much straightforward, you know, and, you know, it's going to be different for everyone, you know, as far as what specific area in your life that this energy is talking about. But let's get a little bit, maybe we could get some more tarot to try to find out what area in your life this new chapter is talking about. We'll pull a few because, like I said, this is a collective reading, so it's going to be different for everyone. But whatever area it is positive. It is positive. All right, Spirit. And like I said, I'm only taking cards upright. So, okay, we have a card coming out already. So we have 9 of Swords. Nine of Swords talks about anxiety, worry, depression, insomnia, not being able to rest mentally. The Swords deal with the mental. So maybe a lot of you guys have been in this energy and you're coming out of this energy. So maybe a lot of you have been worried about how are you going to provide for your family? How are you going to have stability in your life? Maybe you are having some trouble in relationships. So this talks about a lot of worry. So a lot of you guys are coming out of this energy here. Maybe you're in that energy currently right now, but this overall reading is about what your next big chapter is going to look like. So I see a lot of you guys coming out of this energy of worry, anxiety, not being able to rest mentally. Okay, Spirit, what else? Okay. We also have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords could talk about making a decision. Maybe some of you have been dealing with having to make a choice or a decision in a certain area of your life. And it's probably not an easy decision. You see she's holding two swords up. She has her legs crossed and she's blindfolded. It's almost as if she's like kind of cut off from even wanting to make a decision. But some of you guys, this worry and anxiety that is showing up here is because you don't know what to do. Maybe you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because you have to make a decision on something. Okay, what else, Spirit? Okay, we have another two cards showing up. We have the Two of Wands. And, you know, the Two of Wands, you can see that she's kind of looking out, probably most likely towards the water. She's kind of waiting for something to come in. So, and you can see that she's leaning on one of these wands. Although there's two there, she's leaning on one of the wands as if she probably already made a choice. She made a decision. Okay, I'm going to go with this decision here. The other one is standing by itself. And you know, we were just talking about the Two of Wands, and it's interesting that the Two of Swords here we were just talking about, but it's interesting the Two of Wands showed up right after it, because it seems like you guys are going to make a decision. You're going to make a decision between two choices you have, or it could be multiple choices, but you are going to be coming to a decision. You kind of see, like I said, she's kind of looking out, kind of waiting on, okay, I made a choice, I made a decision. Now I'm just waiting on the results. I took an action. Now I'm just waiting on the reaction. What are going to be the results? All right, we have two cards coming out. So we have Three of Swords. And we also have the Four of Wands. So the Three of Swords could talk about heartache. It could talk about, you know, maybe this decision that you know, some of you guys had to make, maybe it did cause some heartache for someone. You know, just for example, some of you are, if you had to go through a breakup, if you had to come to a choice to kind of separate from maybe someone that you love, and you made a decision that you have to do what's best for you if the relationship wasn't working out anymore, if it was too stressful, you know, and it seems like this decision that you guys had to make is causing maybe even you some heartbreak. Happen to come to a decision, or causing someone else heartbreak. It can even be with leaving a job. You know, maybe you've been there for many years. You got comfortable with the job. You like your coworkers, you know, but maybe it just wasn't fitting for you anymore. So you had to make the choice to move on from that job and find another one, start another one. But this could show up in so many different ways for you guys. So, you know, just use your intuition and apply it to whatever it is that you're going through right now. But this does talk about a decision being hard, and maybe it did hurt you to have to make it, or it did cause someone else some heartache. But we also have the Four of Wands that had came out right after that. So the Four of Wands talk about stability. It talks about celebration. It could talk about weddings. It could talk, it's definitely a positive card, very positive energy. So even though we did have the Three of Swords show up right before this Four of Wands, ultimately the decision that you had to make is going to bring you happiness. It is going to bring you more stability. A lot of choices in life that we have to make aren't easy, but we have to make choices what is best for us or what's best for our family, you know. But it's not an easy process when you're stuck between having to make decisions and not really knowing what to make. But one thing I can say, if you've kind of been thinking, like if you've been thinking and it's been kind of pulling and nagging at your spirit to make a decision, and you really know deep down what you need to do and what is best, most likely that's the best choice. You know, spirit lets you know. Sometimes you don't listen, and I deal with this personally, where there's times where spirit is trying to tell me one thing and I'm like, I know spirit, but it's like I don't want to do it because it's just uncomfortable, or I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or you know, but it's ultimately, even though we can't really see at that time of how much happiness making that choice that spirit has been telling us that we need to make, or that direction that spirit is asking us to go in, although we probably can't see it at that time, the happiness, the joy, the stability that it's going to bring us, you know, it is a hard decision, but ultimately it is going to lead us to a path of happiness. And I do want to get, let's see, I'm going to get another deck here, and I'm going to use the Angel Guide Oracle just to get some messages from our guardian angels. Actually, yeah. All right, so yeah, we're going to pull some cards and get some messages from our guardian angels in regards to this message. Some overall advice from our guardian angels when it comes to this next big chapter in the collective's life. Guardian angels, what is some guidance you have for the collective when it comes to the next big chapter they could expect in their life? What are some messages to help them? What are some messages? Okay. We have compassion. So this is your guardian angel sending you guys some compassion, because just seeing that you have a hard decision to make, you know, it's not an easy decision that's going to help usher you into this new big chapter in your life. Spirit does see that. Yeah, your guardian angels do see that, and they are sending you love, and they're sending you some compassion. What else, guardian angels, do you have to say to the collective in regards to this reading? And they're also, what I'm getting to is also have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for yourself, and don't beat yourself up so hard, you know, and feel like you made like a wrong decision. When you do come to the point of making this choice here, don't beat yourself up so hard, okay? Have compassion for yourself as well, and just understand you had to make a decision and do what was best for you, so you won't stay in a stagnant energy. You want to move on. You want to move on. Our life is cyclical, so we're constantly making changes, rather big or small, and some changes are easier. I mean, some decisions and changes are easier than others, and some aren't. So I feel like this decision that you have to make that's going to usher you into your new chapter isn't going to be an easy decision for you. So Spirit is, your guardian angels is sending you compassion and sending you love, but they also want you to have compassion for yourself as well. Okay, so we did have another card that came out. So we have the healing energy. So your guardian angels are sending you healing energy as well, because you're probably going to need that healing energy after, you know, this Three of Swords. So Spirit is sending you healing energy and wants you to take the time to work on healing. You know, if this is a drastic change that you're making, or is going to cause you some trauma, or, you know, some scars for having to make this decision, and you needing to show yourself some compassion, Spirit is also sending you some healing energy so you can heal from this and start your new chapter with this joy, this stability, and this happiness here. And let's get one more, please, guardian angels. One more message you have for the collective in regards to this reading here. Okay. Expect miracles. All right. Expect miracles. So your guardian angels is letting you know you can expect miracles. Miracles are going to happen. You know, after you make this decision and you're coming into this new chapter in your life, you are going to see miracles. There's going to be things that just happen in your life where you're not going to understand, like, wow, like that just worked out perfectly. Like, oh my goodness, like the timing of this is great. Or like, you know, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been praying for this. And everything is going to work out for you. You might not be able to see it. You might take something that happens in your life or a situation and take it as like, oh my goodness, why did this happen to me? Like, wow. And, you know, it would be kind of hard. But it is it's happening for you to help get you to a place that is going to overall be happy. So your guardian angels are working to send you miracles. They're telling you to expect miracles. All right, I think I'm going to leave this message right here. This was a beautiful reading, and it's very exciting. Very exciting. And even though, you know, it does boil down to you having to make a choice to kind of usher this new big chapter into your life, at the end, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely beautiful here with this Four of Wands. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. And if you want to be notified of future videos that I make, hit the subscribe button as well. Okay. Take care, everyone. Sending you all love.